An impressive performance so far in the fall split achieves, but for Space Station, a team that a lot of people backed to be one of the top teams early on, they're the next task up for Gen.G.
Gotta be feeling good about Gen.G, especially if they play like they did yesterday. It was lights out defensively versus FaZe, and they'll have to have that level of defense, albeit perhaps a little bit more demo awareness. Space Station does like to get a little more demo heavy than FaZe, I'd like to think. So we'll see if the Gen.G defense is up to the task again today.
You know, other than Com, who will not be thwarted in his quest to be the guy who gets the most demos out of any player ever. You know, Space Station, that's been long how they've played the game. Even Daniel getting more aggressive, but Arsenal's usually that guy you're looking at to be that aggressor. It's Nolly actually taking out Arsenal on the play as we get started here in game one.
Nice little float, good vision from Gen.G on their own half, already understanding how they have to move the ball on their own side. Around these Space Station attackers, trying to throw off the timing as well when they get on offense. A little bit of settling in, poke prod, see what you got. Nobody really looking like they don't know where they need to be right now, so. Standard start to game one. Just kidding,
wow.
Apparently Jack actually doesn't. Okay, I was about to say, that ball looked like it started to come out of the net. Standard start, instantly wrong. Apparently Jack's just gonna muscle out two defenders, I guess. That's cool.
Jack's Fennec just grew biceps. Like, completely stuffed that ball in the net. And how about, apparently Jack in particular, yeah, he was lighting up the playoffs in the Fall Open. But in the Fall Cup, again, he just continues to be such a nuisance for teams to deal with. Even against FaZe, they were having trouble getting the ball away from apparently Jack. He was outmaneuvering FaZe yesterday, and Daniel having to come back to grab this. As Gen.G look to get another.
Great manipulation of the timing there from Daniel, understanding possession's the important thing, and now they go try and get more demos. That's what Space Station likes, and it almost opened up a gap. LJ did have somewhere to shoot, just a lot to ask from that far out to the side.
Another shot off the bar. Chronic has to wait. This is a very important semifinal for Gen.G. While their major chances are very high if they end up losing here,
oh my
gosh. Nothing's better than clinching. They get out on defense, and if they win this series, they clinch a major berth before any other team in North America. I can only imagine the memes that'll come out of that. But Jack gonna start the push again. Chronic, deepest third man. Daniel gets deleted, and Arsenal keep the push alive.
I mean, Daniel's having a great showing on defense right now for Space Station. Guys positioning well, manipulating challenge timings. Here he does it again versus Jack. Gets him with a little fake boost. Say, here I come. He's just going to let him bring the ball to him. Great movement on defense.
Jay has the reset, sees the space he's got, opts for the pass instead. Arsenal getting the demo on the backside, put Jack in a tough spot. He didn't have a lot of boost. And that's going to give Space Station a little more pressure, but then 150 knocks all of that out. Daniel's got to start from his own corner.
Great pressure from Nolly. That's definitely Gen.G trying to reassert control on the pitch here. Really need Chronic to get this to a teammate, but he's caught too far forward. LJ wants it himself, and fortunately can't stretch it out. And right back into the midfield. No one really able to hold a strong grip. Chronic played incredibly well yesterday.
He's been playing well all weekend.
Yeah.
Really, Chronic, I think the only time you could have been like, ooh, nice shot from Jack. We saw Daniel, he backed up. He knew that shot was going to come. Just a little too far. Jack had enough power to get by him.
I think he believed Nolly that he might actually hit that double tap. So he tried to back up in case it went towards the middle of the net. Unfortunately, missed the double tap, so there was a small gap in the near post. And it just caught between two difficult decisions.
Great start in game one for Gen.G. A couple of ideas for Space Station, but nothing that's really felt like a full threat on the net, despite them mounting 5 shots. Gen.G are just getting a bunch of loose balls behind the Space Station rotation, forcing them to retread their steps. And another clear forces LJ back to the corner.
Missed that boost in the midfield too, so don't even really have the pressure on the boost pads to really say that despite losing the ball here that they hold an advantage. So kind of closing out a little weak here in game 1 for Space Station. Who knows? Maybe this counterattack turns into something. Just how do you dig it out of the corner is always the tough question.
LJ calling off Arsenal on the play. And I mean, Arsenal didn't have any boost. What was he going to do? Daniel underneath the reset, trying to take Jack out. And he did force him onto the ground. Daniel got the redirect. Beautiful setup from Daniel to split the lead.
Look what he does after he gives it up. He's like, oh, I'm going to stay. And then he just boosts to the floor, and Arsenal puts it straight on him. Oh, my goodness. That's a genius play. I mean, just the delaying touch into the midfield, and you know you can't get back to it. And what a heads-up pass with T-Shot.
Daniel wraps around the corner. Arsenal's full tank of boost. He's got Chronic beat. Goes for the bump on Jack. He's got him. Loose ball. Chronic will get to it first. Space Station trying to hold on to midfield. Daniel, he set them up. Who's going to finish for Space Station? Final seconds, back over to the corner. Jack just drills it through. He's wasted all the time. And the last cry here for Space Station in game 1. Arsenal on the reset. Maybe another. Daniel
and
pushes it out. He got the catch. LJ's there. And Chronic saves the day for Gen.G.
And it's close. You thought maybe they had something there. Gen.G definitely in a bit of a compromised position, but Chronic patient on the backboard. 2 saves. And we'll give him a critical clear at 0 seconds. So overall, I mean, pretty solid defensively again for everybody. You were talking about Space Station not really being able to put super dangerous stuff on target. And I mean, if you think about the one they did score, it was more a speed goal than anything else. And Gen.G came out hot pretty early on, set the tone, and Space Station just never really got their feet set under him.
Daniel, really the guy on both sides of the field working for Space Station. The only man with saves, and also that play that he set up against apparently Jack and Nolly to get Space Station at least a goal. But heading to Aquadome, you certainly, at least if you're a Space Station fan, you're hoping that they can put some more pressure on Gen.G.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, when we were casting Gen.G phase yesterday, the story for Gen.G was defense. Like the defense was immaculate. It wasn't game 1 again.
Definitely. That was absolutely the showcase. And here in Space Station series versus Gen.G, I mean, it's not like Space Station doesn't have an offense that's just as capable as FaZe. They certainly do. But they definitely haven't really been able to bring it to bear. Here's a chance for Daniel off the bar. That's tragic. He didn't have the boost to actually make an adjustment, so he was trying to hit it as softly as possible. That's why he flipped his car upside down.
His teams helped him out, and they've stuffed the ball in the corner. Oh, and Arsenal just jams the ball into the net.
No one going to be too upset about this. I think all of Gen.G think they should be down 1-0 anyway. So great communication in the corner from Space Station. Arsenal saying, I've actually got a line on target, and LJ's just kind of sitting there making it look like he's about to start the pass into the midfield, so he freezes all of Gen.G, and he's able to jam it home. Off the kickoff chance, this Chronic is able to pinch it off the post.
This is what wakes up Space Station. LJ drop pass to Arsenal. He's levitating. Arsenal 2 taps and right into Nolly's bumper. Now Gen.G are facing a ton of early pressure from Space Station. Chronic on the back wall waiting to receive. Woo. Apparently Jack will happily take that ball out. Nolly headhunting, maybe sets it up. He forced him to jump early, nice. And Jack to Nolly will tie it up.
Now this is the counterattack. Space Station tried to get really aggressive there. Gen.G holds strong, and they put Daniel in the 1-on-2. He does a great job brake checking and getting around, but nice job. Way to not panic after your initial push. The ball is actually rolling offline. Most people are going to think, man, how are we supposed to score that? But he just let it keep rolling. Then he's like, okay, here comes the easy pass across, and Nolly waiting right there for it. Great communication, great understanding of how to make that one still work.
Chronic getting chipped off the play by Daniel there. Gives LJ a look. Arsenal screens across the net, force 2 up. Jack and Nolly gives Daniel a shot, and it's an own goal. Apparently Jack was in position. Maybe he gets the touch here, but instead, it's in the net.
Yeah, Chronic just trying to take it away from Daniel. It's not a bad idea. I do think Jack had that. It would have been close. Would have been close. Either way, not going to matter. 2 days in a row now, Gen.G own goal donations. They're being accepted, but they may get it right back. Daniel going to be just in time. And to be fair, after Gen.G own goal yesterday, they started winning, and they're going to tie it up right now. 3:34. Chronic goes right down the middle.
You saw that coming, don't lie. before you said you totally saw that coming. LJ couldn't get the touch. He had
yeah.
apparently Jack barreling down on him. So he didn't want to get bumped out of the way. As another caught between rock and a hard place for LJ. And the missed touch leads to a chronic goal.
Same for Arsenal. I mean, that's the beauty of going across the goal line when you go for demolitions. Anyone in that area is aware of your presence coming through, and they do try to make adjustments. So Arsenal ends up driving forward to get around him, and that gives away the shot to the back post. So heck of a play, but he's going to get it right back. Arsenal from the sidewall, unassisted.
Juicy here from Arsenal. Apparently Jack covering the first angle. Chronic was up, and Nolly also committing, seeing the control that Arsenal had on the play. But a beautiful delivery, for sure, to put Space Station in the lead.
Came off the wall so nicely for him. Most people think you need an extra touch to get that one headed towards the net, but he was still in the middle of his initial flip off the wall, and he caught it off the wheels again. So great bit of timing from Arsenal. Manipulates the challenge in the corner, and LJ is able to keep it in the mix. How do you get this one middle? Great fake, pulls off Nolly. Daniel, can you score? There's apparently Jack. Arsenal's going to need help for this one, and just tries to play it delay time so Daniel has enough space to make sure to get on defense. But Space Station trying to throw all the misdirection right now, and Gen.G they get out of here. Long clear.
Jack wins another 50. Nolly was waiting on the opposite side. He'll get this ball. Pop up. That one's for Chronic. Arsenal on the back wall to set up. Comes off the board. And Daniel recognizing. Beat Jack to the play and force Nolly off. A little bit of time here for Chronic, and just booms it downfield. Daniel might have something here, but he lets it drop. Leaves a shot for Arsenal, and way too weak. Chronic and, or rather, apparently Jack got Daniel. I thought for a second 2 Gen.G players got demoed there. No, it was a trade. And we play on.
Arsenal just trying to see what Chronic is going to do. I think he knew he was beat all the way on that challenge, but just putting the pressure, force him to show his hand a little bit. And Space Station definitely got a pretty strong grip here in Game 2. It's only a 1-goal game, but the past minute and a half or so, it's been Space Station testing and pressing on that defense, and they're going to score one here. This one's off the ceiling for Daniel.
Nice from Daniel. Gets Space Station a 2-goal lead. Nolly coming back, seeing that 50 come up, and he turns the opposite way. Nolly turns off the play before it really develops. And if he waits just a little bit longer for that 50, he's thinking, okay, it goes off to the side or it goes to the right. Apparently Jack has it covered. But I don't think he was expecting the 50 to just go straight down in the middle of the net. Either way, I think it's better for Nolly if he just waits to turn in a direction until that 50 develops. It's a tough ball for Gen.G, now down 2 from Space Station.
Safer lead for Space Station with not a lot of time, but they make it one back. Nolly throws a changeup, and it's going to pull everyone across the net too soon. Great play from Nolly.
Absolutely. Chronic with the pass as well. Totally throws Arsenal on the back wall. LJ knew it. He tried to dive, but couldn't get the perfect read on it. And just like that, can't count Gen.G out.
The little fake cut right before you hit the ball, and everyone jumped across. And he goes, okay, now that I know where you're going. That was great.
Great little redemption there as well.
Gives him a good shot at it, too. I mean, I think there's a lot of people when playing Space Station would think 2 goals in a minute left, that's pretty safe, but you got one back pretty quick.
You know, based on how everything's gone in North America this
Yeah, you're right. I don't
think a 2-goal leads are not safe. Oh, what a drop. Challenge. The Chronic got to get there for the save. And Chronic gets another good 50. What's that going to mean for Gen.G on the push, though? It means Chronic, well, Nolly gets deleted, but Chronic takes it himself, goes for the bump. Jack pops it up over Arsenal. And Nolly will have to respawn and get back into position. Jack buys him plenty of time. And now he's got it off the ceiling. First touch.
Oh, he wanted help.
And he didn't get it.
Yeah, I think he was looking for apparently Jack to maybe be still sitting there in the box, but you just left to go steal away the corner boost. Either way, Space Station not going to be in a particularly strong defensive position right here. They're hoping for a big clear, and they're going to find it. Maybe a goal. Daniel's going to put a period at the end of this game. Get out. You're done. Let's move on.
We'd like to see that from Space Station to hold on. Gen.G watched them come back a lot and absolutely believed in it with the amount of pressure they were putting on Space Station at the end, catching them out on the transition. That should be enough, you'd think. We've seen 2 goal comebacks with less time on the clock. Arsenal's got to cover the ball up. He does. Ball's going to fall. They might have bought themselves enough time, or rather sold enough time off the clock, more accurately.
Oh, wow.
A nice touch from Jack is only a formality. Space Station tied the series.
Keep that one in the back pocket, apparently, Jack. You can't show that one off. I don't
Sorry,
want
only one psycho per split. All right. Thank you.
That's a great touch. If you hit that consistently, who knows how fast a counterattack happens with that one, but ultimately not going to make a difference. Game 2, very interesting. I mean, it was a lot of great communication from Space Station on offense, and boy, did they have a grip on this one. 12 shots to Gen.G's 6.
Yeah.
So while Gen.G definitely have an excellent defense, I mean, they knew they had to get out eventually, had to score something, and Space Station press, and eventually broke them down.
I do feel like, there was some preventable scenarios there for Gen.G. So there is a bit of uncomfortability or a little bit of guessing that's happening on defense, but I think that is credit to how Space Station are moving the ball. Like usually it's you're reacting to how the other team is moving, right?
Yeah. And Space Station is a very dangerous team when it comes to the mix-up on the approach, right? I mean, versus FaZe yesterday, like that game was so fast-paced, a lot of really strong touches and quick passes into the midfield. There's not a lot of guesswork involved. But Space Station are so good at changing pace when they get the ball on a dribble in the corner or something. They really make you second-guess things and slow you down just that little bit. It paid dividends for him here. Apparently, Jack going to be denied in the box. Here's Chronic. He's got Arsenal beaten. Took his best guess, but no chance.
Yeah, Arsenal was in a tough spot here. He rotates back into net. He sees this challenge coming with LJ, and he's thinking forward. But LJ just got a weird touch on the ball, and it left him helpless in net.
Tough one to have to even consider trying to play for Arsenal there. Teammate just got rocked on the challenge and hung out to dry. Makes you look bad, LJ. You can't do that to him.
What a pass! Oh, great block by Daniel. LJ getting up for it. Another one in front here for Space Station. Daniel, top of the scoreboard for his team last game. Opens up the drive here on the blue, but Jack completely denies Space Station the pressure.
Love this start from Gen.G here. I mean, with Space Station really running the table in that last game, it's good to see him come out here the first minute, throw some punches, really force them to kind of back off a little bit on that Space Station side, and you don't get free pressure.
Ooh, Daniel, nice reset. And more pressure here from Space Station. Arsenal just trying to play it away. Did make it hard for Nolly to find space. That pinch across, the defense of Gen.G, they're in position to play something a little different. So you pinch that across, and then there's nowhere for Nolly to outlet that to. It means more Space Station pressure. Look what it's got, another shot. Daniel trying to find LJ. Force 2 out from Gen.G if they can get to the ball quickly. Chronic getting harassed by LJ. Daniel, not the perfect launch, but he does get it around, sets it up. Arsenal's gonna play deep as Jack's got full control.
A nice job from Arsenal as well. Even froze Chronic right there. Reset, Chronic wins the war. Demo on LJ in the midfield as well. Now it's time buying mode for Space Station. You don't have much here.
Straight down for Daniel. The 50 out. Nolly's gonna let it go for Chronic. While he gets deleted, he did get the ball out. Hard pass over to Daniel, almost connected. That surely would have put Gen.G on ice on defense. Jackson the thirds. Daniel trying to manage the ball. And he got a great pass over to Arsenal, but Nolly privy to the pass. And now he's got to set up, but Jack can't go. Just a little bit behind on the rotation. LJ got a full field clear and a big miss, but Chronic covered it up, and another shot denied immediately by Nolly. And a great hop there from apparently Jack. Gen.G, they're running into each other. LJ, though, some time on his launch. He did get the carry out. Space Station, while they get that initial dribble, Gen.G have found a way into the spaces to clear it out.
But reasserting that pressure, apparently Jack. That was the right play, but Daniel just saw it coming. Made the adjustment.
Ooh, nice move. Oh, he gets a slightly better catch on that reset. Maybe that last defender's squealing a little bit. But Daniel, this is another LJ to Daniel. A couple of attempts on those go-ahead passes, and the last two they haven't connected. I think just one of those connects. Space Space Station can tie it. LJ drops it down, and Chronic safely brings it back. Arsenal's waiting for him.
Solid positioning from Daniel in the midfield, recognizing that Chronic was going for the catch. And I mean, well-executed play from Chronic. That's the only way you get out of there safely. It's a lot of pressure on you to execute mechanically, and now they just try and continue to hold on to a lead. Space Station starting to reassert the control on the pitch, though, as the time ticks down. Equalizer looming. Chronic makes another stop.
The layers there for Gen.G. Chronic flips it up again. Arsenal. 50 goes back to Chronic. Makes it work. Jack full tank in midfield. Hard shot! Way wide. Arsenal gets deleted. LJ may just give it a chance. Chronic just gets the stop. He knew he had to beat him with power, but Chronic diving back, getting it on his nose. Gen.G's defense holding firm.
And Space Station trying to throw it back into that Gen.G half as quick as possible before those corner boosts respawn, but unfortunately not able to find any way through. Nolly stealing one away. What do you got, Space Station? Haven't really been able to get the ball down on the floor and make those adjustments to their approach that were so effective in game 2. Daniel's up for a pre-jump.
He's feeling it. He's had a lot of good looks. But the problem is the layering of Gen.G. You can get by that first defender.
Here's the demo.
There's
no layers to them.
Chronic's there, though. The bounce right into Chronic's bumper. LJ pass in front, but Daniel's way too far off that pass. And Gen.G.
Okay. One last look.
They got it. Jack's there. Got him beat. Daniel. Okay, Space Station. Here they go. He's going for the bump. Killed, but LJ
tough.
The catch is too much. Gen.G take the lead in the series.
Good try, Space Station, but overall, well played, Gen.G. Again, defensive showcase from Chronic. 3 saves. Everyone having to put in the work on the defensive side there for Gen.G. That one just spent a little more time up in the air, less time trapped in the corners as well, where I really feel like Space Station do their best work. So, getting that ball out into the middle, out in the cross, and Gen.G, great job of marking people as well when Space Station starts moving that ball in front of the box. I mean, they know where that pass lane is. They got in there, broke up a lot of good opportunities for them. Like, there's one on the defense, and there's another one from Nolly. Understand where things are coming from. They did a great job.
Space Station, the few looks that they did get, call them like half or 3/4 chances, if you will. But I'm going back to like those passes that they had, 3 of them actually from LJ to Daniel, that just didn't connect. That final pass, Daniel just wasn't on the play, and I think it was just a misunderstanding of where LJ thought the play was. Couldn't get the hard pass out. But like, if they connect on those few opportunities, then maybe they can tie it up. But Gen.G did not give them many holes to look at, and that really, you just have to give all the credit to Gen.G's defense for commanding an excellent game on their half of the pitch.
It's all about the vision. There's a lot of value in the people in the back, that third man rotation, calling out positions of people when it comes to communication at the top level of players. I mean, information is one of the most valuable things, because if you know exactly where people are, that informs all your decision making. You know what you have the space and the time to do. So there has to be just brilliant communication over on that Gen.G side. That's like, okay, there's people here, you have time, and that all has to get communicated so quickly for them to be able to make the defensive rotations and the stops that they do. And that's why it feels like the only way for Space Station to get through is to go for these, insane like pre-jumps where the only X factor is the speed of the play, how quickly it develops. There's no time for that information to get transmitted.
That's why I almost feel like Space Station, they have to be more physical. I feel like they haven't really done a lot.
That's why it's hard, right? Like that, the one before the previous match, right? I mean, that's why that ball spends a lot of time jammed up in the corners. That's when they have the time to rotate through the box, because there's extra time that it takes for that ball to get cleared out into a space until you have to react to it, right?
Yeah.
And so when that last game starts happening, things just spend a lot of time in the air in the middle of the pitch. I mean, you can't really afford the risk of, going and trying to take somebody out or anything like that, because there's just no time for it.
Game number 4.
Take that risk. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Absolutely. But to beat a team with how Gen.G's looking, you got to be able to take those risks. Daniel, the drop down in front of the net. And Daniel, for all of Space Station's woes in this series so far, has looked great overall. He's had great attempts on his own when he's in that first man spot, and he's responsible for being the guy to break through that Gen.G front line. He's typically successful, but then it's everything after Space Station that is not working out. What is working is the top right slot here for Applejack.
Great save from LJ, first off. And unlucky that as he goes into the net, he clipped the post on the way in, and he started to drive up and then saw that the play was developing too slow, so he jumped to the floor of the net to have the chance, and then the shot was just on him too quick.
Oh,
a kickoff that goes so perfectly wrong for Space Station and so perfectly right for Gen.G.
Just right in, and nobody there. I think I can hear Johnny.
I don't even think Arsenal saw it.
I can hear Johnny from his stream right now. Just why? Why are these kickoff goals happening at Arsenal?
Can feel it.
He's gonna get the catch here. And I was gonna mention, it still bears mentioning. Tactical timeouts in this split have been successful. 7 out of the last 9 games after calling a timeout. Space Station specifically, actually, when calling a timeout, are 2-0 after that. But 7 of the last 9 games have been wins after a timeout has been called in North America this season so far. So tactical timeouts continue to be effective. But not looking good right now for Space Station.
You got some work to do right now for Space Station, that's for sure. I mean, we saw this yesterday with the FaZe versus Gen.G. I mean, the 2-goal lead early on, oh man, you better believe here comes the really slow measured challenges where it's like, okay, we're just going to put enough pressure on you to where you have to do something, then we're just going to fall back and let you bring us the ball from a place where you can't really mix it up all that much, and makes it that much easier to play defensively.
Good touch from Arsenal. Gave Daniel a shot, but Nolly was already up for it. Why are you up for that? And how do you know?
He's a genius.
It was a good idea, too. Arsenal got the smart touch around the first defender. And Nolly, I guess he's just got the precog.
He's got him downloaded, man. He's like, oh, Daniel's up? He's going here.
Ooh, misses that touch. And that just might get Space Station out. Daniel. Chop pass. No boost, though.
Oh, so quick.
Ooh, Jack can be forced off by LJ. Sees the challenge. Onyx got enough boost to adjust and make 2 stellar 50s in midfield.
No room to work with. Space Station's like, man, will you guys just let us hit the ball, please?
No. Apparently not. Apparently Jack pushes it over to the orange side of the field. Now he's on the wing for Nolly.
Oh, what a pass.
And they almost connect. A close one. Space Station try to hop the route. LJ, the go-ahead man, gets to lead it. Daniel, he breaks through again. This is one more Space Station. Arsenal, he actually got chipped off that play by Chronic. And that delayed his ability to touch that ball early. And that pass, Jack read it immediately. Daniel couldn't even jump.
Oh, and the miss on that touch right there, going to waste some valuable time. Obviously, 2 minutes left. It's not the end of the world, but at the same time, you hate to give up free pressure when you need to score 2. LJ in a tough spot here. Makes the touch to delay the conclusion of game 3. Oh, it's going to go off the post. Apparently, Jack, never lucky. No vacuum post for him. It's going to be Arsenal pressing for Space Station with LJ. Here comes Daniel, considers it, says that one's not worth it.
And then nothing in the midfield to boot. Oh, Daniel gets chipped by LJ.
Oh, wait, what?
Chronic just gets a free shot. All of Space Station are kind of out of whack here on the defensive end. Daniel gets pushed off the ball by Arsenal. And then LJ gets kicked. Or, excuse me, Arsenal got kicked again.
It was literally worst case. I mean, Arsenal's going for that corner boost that's behind LJ because LJ picked up the midfield. So LJ's like, okay, I'll cut out of your way so you can go around the outside. But they both cut the same direction, and Arsenal just clipped LJ, which slowed him down. And Daniel's thinking, LJ said he's back in net, we're fine. And it's just literally worst case scenario there for Space Station. That was tough. Nobody's fault, really, just sometimes how it goes down.
Space Station are left with tons of questions and not many answers.
Jack, make them 2-1.
He walks it right in. An easy one for apparently Jack and Gen.G looking to wrap up game number 4.
Jeez. Well, I mean, score first is nice. Scoring too early is better. That's what I've learned against any Gen.G match. If you get up 2 with about 3.5 minutes, you're going to win.
Oh, even right there, the layers again come through for Gen.G. Apparently, Jack recognizes that his teammate's getting bumped in the net. He immediately boosts across the field, or across the net, excuse me, to defend the shot. Space Station, they're drawing these up. They're definitely giving Gen.G a couple of different looks, but it's just stellar defense continuing to pay dividends for Gen.G. Arsenal deleting a player. Daniel's hit, not going to get anything done. Apparently, Jack just dunked LJ in the midfield, and that probably does it here for Game 4.
I don't even think LJ even heard him coming, because there is a point where, you know, your car's at full speed, and if you're not boosting outside of the engine sound, you're not particularly loud. Generally, people hear boost when they hear people behind them, not necessarily the engine.
Yeah.
Gen.G, oof, that was a challenge nightmare for Space Station. Couldn't really feel like they got anything through cleanly. Couldn't really get anything going, even if they did get through. I mean, that was beautiful structure from Gen.G, and again, the educational, clinical on how to close one out when you get a nice early lead.
Great form from Gen.G overall, despite the 13 shots from Space Station, and there's just nowhere to go on the back wall. Like, you do force the first defender out for Gen.G, but then there's never anywhere else to go. And they actually did try to get a lot more physical on them too, but it comes down, I keep saying it, the layers on defense have bailed them out of every single situation.
Yeah, you're up 2. You're gonna have people back. That's not a question.
Yeah.
Like, physicality is only so good when, you know, people are trying to take a little risks, trying to have a position and an outlet to get out and try and go on a counterattack. But when you don't need that, you're more than happy to say, yeah, we'll have 2 people in the box. We'll send one to challenge you. Good luck. You got to make an awesome play to get through us. And it doesn't matter what team you are. You could be a team that scores 6 goals per game on average. It's not easy to beat a team that's camped out like that. As Chronic opens up Game 5 with a goal.
Chronic kicks it high. Daniel was like partially smoked on that play.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't get like the fullest read on how that was going to go. And Chronic took full advantage of that. Went with a hard kick. Knew he had a slight opening on the backboard, and he nailed it. Ooh, LJ. Nice little move. Stuffed by Nolly on the back wall. Arsenal, good move again. Backboard is there, but too far. Might have been the only space he could have found it. Pass over, and Daniel's got to take it. I mean, that was the one, like, that pass went right between them. Like, which play did you pick there? Wait, it's open. There it is. Oh, nice. There we go. Arsenal gets the goal for Space Station, tying it up.
Great placement from Arsenal here. I mean, you were right, that pass kind of went away, but LJ makes the big key block, keeps it in the mix on what looks to be the start of a Gen.G counterattack. Huge stuff in the midfield. Arsenal wheels around on it, and it's all about that placement, baby. Goes back post on him, gets them back level. Space Station trying to remain competitive here in the series.
Decent catch there from Chronic, back over to Nolly. Gen.G set up again. Apparently Jack, round 1. Nolly actually wins the touch clean. Forces Arsenal into defensive duty here. Drops it down. Chronic will happily take the boost. Back pass to Nolly. What can you do if you're Space Station? Arsenal had to try to beat that first guy out. They had him red, and they had the rotation perfect to keep the pressure up. Now they just might have found the breakout. Space Station the other way, and just above the bar.
Can't get the lucky break. Have it die a little bit in the air for you, of course, but that's all right. They're happy to be level at the very least. Now they know Gen.G has to take a few risks, and that's the right play. Arsenal, throw it into the corner. Give yourself a chance to start running into people.
Just had LJ beat on that play. Immediately boosted as soon as he recognized it too. Daniel's got to wait, but he's got Arsenal there to help.
Wow. Apparently Jack going for the demo there, but it ends up working out as a pass. This is weird. Space Station definitely still in a perfectly viable defensive position, but you can see those are the risks that Gen.G have to take when they need to score. They got to go try and make something happen.
Ooh, Arsenal just getting in the air, but the box
Oh, he did.
Just wide. And Chronic steals away the midfield boost, jumps over one. Daniel gets a read out. Nolly's there. Space Station, they're starting to get some hard touches, forcing Gen.G back. Demo to take one off the play. But then Nolly gets the 50 and nullifies the demo for Space Station.
Feels like everything's kind of leveled out a little bit here. Space Station. Still not necessary. Oh, wait, but they're through two. But it takes the wrong hop. Oh, you get through two people finally in the midfield, and you're like, cool, here comes the pressure. And it just skips straight towards the guy in the net. Oh, that's frustrating. Little stutter step from apparently Jack. Doesn't phase Space Station. They're still looking for a consistent camped out stay over on the other side. A demo finally comes through, and this might be the start of something.
Daniel screening across, but Chronic jumps over him. Chronic with no boost on this play. Nolly also with no boost. Jack's got to be the one to bail him out. A couple of small pads for Chronic and Nolly, but this is Space Station's chance. The shot's too weak, though. Jack only a little bit of boost. They make it work. Gen.G keeping the rotation tight. Trying to keep those pads safe. Space Station still push forward.
Oh, nice.
Goes for the fake. Pops it over two. Jack's there. Got the 50 again, and Chronic comes back in the rotation. It's not enough. Chronic gets deleted. Space Station can try again, but Jack's there. It doesn't seem to matter how much boost you deplete. It doesn't seem to matter who you demo. Someone on Gen.G's getting the touch, and you're not scoring.
That was such a great job of managing that by Daniel, too. But the layers come back in. They get back in the play, and they stall out Space Station right before scoring what should have been, well, I guess not should have been, could have been a surefire goal. And Space Station trying everything in the book just to get through that Gen.G midfield.
Good save from Daniel, but Jack will not relent. LJ might have one, no. Gonna be a bounce for apparently Jack. Oh, Nolly's there as well. Chronic waiting to see how this develops. Pass to Nolly from Jack. Chronic gets Goomba stomped. And that one gets pushed across. Nolly demoed. There's some space in Space Station, but that dump. Apparently Jack win two nice 50s. Space Station aren't done. Another demo. Nolly's left alone. Jack coming in to support. Nolly's there, and he can take it himself. Ogres have layers. Gen.G has layers. Oh, Nolly's got a goal! Gen.G looking to close Space Station out.
Literally went coast to coast, I swear. Looking at Nolly defending that flip reset from Daniel, felt like he knew where Daniel was going to go with it before Daniel did. And he's just waiting, like, I know you don't have anything to the top of the net. How far down do you want to go? Picked his pocket on the goal line, beat everyone in the midfield, puts Gen.G in a spot to make their second grand final in as many regionals.
Space Station needs some heroics now. LJ's 50 only to Jack. Back over to Chronic. Chronic takes the touch. Arsenal, that's a nice cut. But Jack knows you're out of time. And you're just giving the bounce off the ramp. He's got the pass in front. And denied again. Gen.G, they will not be thwarted. Nolly wins a big touch. But does it pop out to Arsenal? Hang on a second. Daniel passed over to Arsenal. Keeps it up. LJ in the air.
Get it out.
All of a sudden, Space Station are awake. But Nolly, no, it's still in the air. The reset. Here they come. Arsenal get past LJ. Daniel's there. He's only got 13.
Figure it out.
The catch. 13's all he needs. But Jack is there. And Space Station are on by LJ.
They're so good.
Over and Chiefs. Here they come. Back over to Daniel. They connect. Over to the corner. Jack. Over to Arsenal.
Okay.
And maybe LJ gets there. Okay. What's next?
Oh, the bump.
Nobody. See you later. Space Station put to sleep. Gen.G to their second grand final.
Wow. I mean, what an effort from Space Station. Genuinely, a couple of beautiful runs at it. But man, what are you going to do? The absolute ice from Gen.G wouldn't let anything through, even if you paid them.
And Gen.G, with that, will be headed to Rotterdam as the first team in North America to clinch a major berth. And it's two European players and a Canadian they picked up along the way. What a story for this team. To come in, you struggle early on in qualifiers. People are questioning, are they going to figure it out early, or is this going to be a season-long endeavor for Gen.G? No, they got the Jets warm early, and they look good. That defense is immaculate. Space Station could do absolutely nothing.
Boy, well played, Gen.G. Everyone kind of wondered, was it a fluke the first regional, especially after Swiss? And it's like, okay, fine. cool, you can make it through Swiss barely. I don't know if you're still as good. And everyone goes, oh, they beat FaZe. But, you know, today's a new day. And nope, they're still ready to go. They just might win this one, Jorby. The only offensive test left is version 1.
That's true. Well, we'll see if Calm can dismantle the layers of Gen.G. The grand finals of the Fall Cup after the break.